Welcome to Expertdoc Smart Flows. My name is Eric Pot. Today we are going to retrieve data from an external source. In Smart Flows, you can retrieve data from a web service that outputs XML. In today's example, we have a web service running that offers product information based on a quote number. It lists some extra specifications like descriptions and pictures that we want to use in our templates. First, we're going to add an HTTP connector to access the web service. We're going to build that HTTP connector in SmartFlows. Let's copy the root URL of our web service. Let's go to Control Panel and add a connector. We can add the URL and we can set additional HTTP headers for authentication. Can also choose other types of authentication like API key, basic, or a bearer token. Okay, that's looking good. We have our connector configured. Next, we'll create a schema dataset. This uses an XSD file, a schema definition file. We can create this from our XML. I'll copy the XML and save that in a sample XML file. Then we can use Visual Studio or an online tool like Free Formatter to create a schema from our XML. And this I'll copy. This will be my schema. Now that's looking good. Now let's create our data set. We can upload our schema file and it will let us choose the root element if our XSD is properly formatted. We can also add a sample to our dataset. For that, we use our XML file again. Now let's add the dataset to our template. If you want, you can now do the design part of the template, but I prefer to configure the flow first. In our flow, we're going to add an extra step to retrieve data through the HTTP connector. We'll configure that to use the external web service. In the path, we can add like variables like our quote ID. In your web service, make sure that it only returns the records you want to use in your template. This is not a query tool. You should apply filtering in your web service and not trust the collect data step here to do the filtering for you. Lastly, don't forget to add the data to the generate document step. You can now run a test to see if your data retrieval will work. You can check the reporting or the execution log of your test run for errors, but it's better to design your template first. I've opened my template and it now has two data sets, my external data and my quote dataset. To my template, I can add a table and start mapping fields. If you grab a cup of coffee, I'll finish this template. Okay, that's starting to look good. I've created a loop over the product details from our web service and mapped an image, a QR code, the name, and the product description from our web service. Let's now publish our template. And if all is well, we can now run our flow too from our quote record. And that's looking pretty good. We can take this one step further and mix the fields of the two datasets into one table. For that, I have a video called Pseudo Relations. Highly recommended. But this is it for me for today. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.